A Florida family is warning about a sneaky cyber scam that tricked them out of tens of thousands of dollars. It all came down to one single character in an email address. Here's how it happened. Tacos, customers, and hard work keep the Brock family moving at this family-run restaurant in Lake Wales, Florida. Their labor of love. But now they'll have to work even harder. Stephanie and Matthew had saved up their money, welcomed a new baby, and found a house for him to grow up in. They made an offer, and the sellers agreed.
Just something was right. Like, you know how the just a puzzle piece will fit perfectly? This house did that for us.
On January 8th, they sent off the down payment, more than $38,000. The next day, they headed out to sign the final documents in person.
We're sitting in the parking lot and we get a phone call from the trust company saying that the funds haven't arrived yet. And we're on our way to the signing. We're on our way to closing. We're sitting in the car and Stephanie's like, "What do you mean the funds haven't arrived?"
The down payment disappeared. Not into the seller's account, but into the account of thieves impersonating the real estate law firm in a complex email scheme.
I thought, no, you need to double check. It's there somewhere. That money is not gone.
But it was, and with it, their hopes to buy the house they loved.
I could literally feel blood draining from my body and just like there were no words.
The Brocks started to unravel the trickery to find out how the cyber crooks infiltrated their conversations.
Worst drive back home ever, I think.
It can start with attackers hacking into your email, cybersecurity experts say. Maybe by tricking you into clicking a link in a fake message, or by guessing your password. And then looking for things like people buying a house.
They start reading your emails, and they're using artificial intelligence tools to analyze what is valuable to this person. They look at your folders. Okay, there's my financial folder. There's my Bank of America folder. Here's my communications back and forth. They'll reset the password of your email, take over your email account, and then have those communications come from you.
We don't know if the attackers broke into the family's email, but we do know they made look-alike accounts. The same address, but with an extra character.
So it was, my email plus one more number.
They did the same with Stephanie's father, who was helping with the purchase. But that's not all. They also made a fake email for the real estate law firm, just one letter off.
So they actually used the same email address as Nassau Law. The difference is at the very end of the email, instead of .com, it was .co. So it's very easy to overlook.
The scammers wrote back and forth for days. The fake family speaking to the real law firm. The fake law firm speaking to the real family. Arranging the purchase, setting up the scam.
They played the long game. They were in there for quite some time playing the middleman.
The thief sent this email to the real family on January 3rd. Signed, it appeared, by Isabel of Nassau Law, but from the .co address, not the real .com. I would like to schedule your signings for next week. Stephanie, are you and your husband available on January 9th to come to our office at 1 p.m.? The real Stephanie continued the conversation 3 days later, asking for the down payment wiring instructions and referencing a call with the real law firm. When we spoke on the phone this afternoon, you said you would be sending the email with information on where and how to send funds for closing today. The scammers intercepted the real wiring instructions and made changes to the document, sending it through on January 7th from the isabel@nassalaw.co account. They added in their own bank account number, and they removed the real estate law firm's warning to not trust wiring instructions by email and always call verbally to confirm. Will you be making the wire this morning? The scammers wrote. Please confirm you've received this email. The next day, Stephanie sent off the money to the scammers.
This was not stab in the back. This was a clean swipe with a sword. through our hearts and our souls.
NASA Law in Orlando says they did a forensic audit and found no trace of an email hack on their end. They say their company provides multiple written disclosures and verbal warnings, advising clients never to rely solely on emailed wire instructions and to always call and verify before sending funds. They say they have clients sign documents agreeing to confirm the wiring instructions first. NASA Law says they deeply sympathize with the victims and have been actively working to stop this kind of fraud, a growing problem nationwide.
Let's talk about advice. What advice do you have for someone who may be buying a house?
Me personally, slow down. Always confirm.
Stephanie says for the first payment, the escrow payment, she did call to confirm.
So I did confirm that one, but because I had already done it, I didn't think to go back and do it again.
And with the warning on confirming wiring instructions removed, she unknowingly delivered the money to the thieves.
There was just a lot going on all at one time, so it was hard to see those little cracks in order to see what was going wrong.
Detective Helgerman says cyber crooks often make very subtle changes to email addresses to imitate you or someone you're working with.
They'll change a letter, or if there's a letter O in the name, they'll change it to a 0, so it's very easy to overlook.
If they're changing just one letter, that's going to be pretty hard for people to detect.
It's very difficult to detect things like that. That's why we just need to comb over the emails that we're getting, try and find some type of discrepancy in them, especially when it's a large transaction, something that could be life-changing.
The Brocks are rebuilding their lives. They turn to family and the community to scrape together enough to buy that house. In the end, they got their home. They hope you'll remember their story when you need to make a big payment in the future, because someone could be watching.
A lot of people, I believe, don't want to tell this story. You feel ashamed that it's happened to you. I really, truly feel if I help one person, they see this, they double, triple check the stuff that they're doing whenever they're doing something like this, and they find something and it saves them, then it's a big win for me. It makes me be able to swallow this big pill a lot easier.
Here's your checklist for when it's your turn to buy a house or make some other big purchase. First, slow down. Second, watch to make sure that nothing seems off. Also, check email addresses carefully. And finally, confirm bank account numbers always. Looking back, Matthew says he remembers dropped emails. Oh, did you get that message? No, I didn't. Can you resend it? When something like that is happening, don't just assume the messages are going to junk mail. Instead, verify to make sure you don't have a thief in the middle of your transaction. I'm Carrie Tomlinson for Ampix News.